it kind of works well because the football season's off, so you can kind of balance it. But
Yeah.
but when you're in this point where like football season's in full swing, lineups are coming out, it's really tough to balance it, and that's why we just haven't
100%.
even been able to react to a lineup. I mean, luckily, I think this year's lineup was so mixed
Yeah.
reaction. I mean, it was a bit of a weird one to talk
I
about. Some
was
people didn't really care about it.
I was going to ask you about the lineup because obviously you put out kind of like a short video, but I was interested to what you think, like in depth. Like, just do you have any like big thoughts on it that are maybe a bit longer than video?
Yeah, well, I think what I was planning on doing is, since I missed it sort of when it came out, doing it as a sense of eventually doing a video where we can think about it and say, look, we've had a couple of months to dissect it. We've read all the reviews. We've looked at your videos and other people's videos.
Yeah.
But just reeling off my opinion off the bat, I think it's definitely the weirdest one I've ever seen.
Yeah.
It's absolutely bizarre. I couldn't, when the leak came out about an hour before, and I was like, no way. But
Yeah,
but it is.
It's strange because when you watch some of those like old classic Duty Rhino videos back, and you're just like slagging off the 2018 lineup like it was the worst thing in the world. Like, looking back now, the 2018 lineup would be like killer,
Ridiculous.
Yeah, exactly. If we got that now, it'd be like a game changer. So it's mad to see how things change. I was speaking to Sam about that briefly last night as well, like just how like the quality changes from time to time. Like, it's the same festival, but the 2002 lineup has like there'll be. I think in 2002, I think I was saying there was like the streets were like 3 stages down, and I met someone in a Pretty Green shop that doesn't have a single song on Spotify that's been booked to play that same slot that the streets were playing in 2002, and I'm just like, it's just nuts.
It is,
the level,
it is.
The level that things change, and the level of like ambition, I suppose, that they go for.
Yeah.
But anything else on that, Reading and Leeds?
I just think I do think times have changed and probably bookings have got more expensive, and I can sympathise with that. I can understand that. I think the one thing that would disappoint me the most is in terms of, obviously, like the headliners, they're all undoubtedly huge bookings, and I'm happy to sort of look past that. But I just really, I normally quite like looking at the undercard and get excited for the sub-headliners, and I just can't get excited by it.
Yeah,
there's some that are really, really cool, like seeing like Laurel Kana, Wet Leg, understandable. But honestly, and apart from maybe sort of your Becky Hill, Declan McKenna, the rest I just cannot get excited for.
That's a big kind of point that I've been pushing, is that there's not really any sub-headliners with much kind of about them. Like, there's not much.
Yeah.
A lot of those sub-headliners, like we're talking like Central C, Wet Leg, haven't even been around like a year and a half. So it's just kind of wild to see them that high up. I suppose it's the nature of like the industry with TikTok just blowing stuff up, but you've kind of, it narrows you down, because it means like, who, now that we've got all 4 sub-headliners, like who do we get now that's smaller, that's gonna, because there's only like special guest slots left. So
the worst thing about it is that me, you, Ruben, Jack, we all know, Rob, and all those guys. So we all know what to expect, and we know that now it's going to be special guests and little names. But you're going to have all those people that are only been to last year's Reading or never been to Reading, and they're going to expect a double announcement, and you're going to get all the same size names again, and that's just not going to happen.
I think the silver lining for me looking at this is that it really does like look good for 2024. Because this is the first time in the past couple, like since COVID, it's not sold out. Because it's sold out immediately in 2021, sold out fairly quickly in 2022. I just don't see it selling out unless something major happens. Unless there's someone ridiculous on this other like next announcement.
Yeah.
But there really can't be, because there's not a space for them. So it's kind of an interesting one, and I think it says it's got to like. Because money is the thing that speaks to the companies, isn't it? So they're going to see the lack of money, hopefully, and that'll signal like a shift. That's what I'm hoping for, personally.